The filming location of Black Myth, Wukong. Black Myth, Wukong selected 36 scenic spots nationwide as game backgrounds. Jinan, Shandong Simon Pagoda. The Simenta Scenic Area is located 4 kilometers northeast of Liubu Street, Licheng District, Jinan City, Shandong Province. Due to the large number of cats, it is affectionately referred to as the Cat Temple by netizens. The tower is made entirely of huge bluestone, with a single layer, square shape, and 4 arches on each side, hence it is commonly known as the Four-Gate Tower. The Simon Pagoda was built in the 7th year of the Day reign of the Sui dynasty, 611 AD, and has a history of more than 1,400 years. It is the only surviving Sui dynasty stone pagoda in China, and also the earliest and most well-preserved single-story pavilion-style Buddhist pagoda in China. It is a model of early Chinese stone architecture and is known as the first stone pagoda in China, and first stone pagoda in China. Lingyan Temple Tomb Talan, Jinan, Shandong. Lingyan Temple was built during the Eastern Jin dynasty, and has a history of more than 1,600 years. Since the Tang dynasty, it has been known as one of the 4 famous temples in the world, along with Zhejiang Wuqing Temple, Nanjing Qixia Temple, and Hubei Yuchuan Temple, ranking first among them. The Lingyan Temple Tomb Pagoda is located on the west cliff of Lingyan Temple in Chongqing District, Jinan City. With numerous tomb pagodas, it has been the burial site for the abbots and high-ranking monks of Lingyan Temple since the Tang dynasty. There are 167 tomb pagodas and 81 tombstones from the Tang, Song, Yuan, Ming, and Qing dynasties, hence the name Tomb Pagoda. Its number is second only to the Shaolin Temple in Dangfeng, Hunan, and it is the second largest tomb pagoda group in China. The majority of tomb pagodas were built during the Tianbao period of the Tang dynasty, 742 to 755, and are the oldest surviving buildings in Lingyan Temple. I would also like to remind everyone that during the period of social interaction in October and November every year, the ginkgo leaves in the temple gradually turn yellow, which is the best time to open Lingyan Temple. Xiaoxi Tian, Xixian County, Linfen, Shaanxi Province. Xixian Xiaoxi Tian, also known as Qianfu Temple, was first built in the 2nd year of the Chongzhen reign of the Ming dynasty, and is located on the cliffs of Fenghuang Mountain. Thousands of colored sculptures are concentrated in the Sakyamuni Hall, with a building area of only 170 square meters. The pastel decoration is magnificent, with different postures, vivid, as if it is telling the world an ancient legend, showing the 4 words small, clever, exquisite, and strange vividly. Jade Emperor Temple, Jincheng, Shaanxi. The Jade Emperor Temple is located on the north hill of Fucheng Village, about 13 kilometers northeast of Jincheng City, Shaanxi Province. It is the best preserved and well-regulated Jade Emperor Temple in the Jincheng area. The Hall of the 28 Mansions is located in the west corner of the backyard, with a brick altar and statues of the 28 mansions on the south, west, and north sides. It is the most valuable cultural relic in the Jade Emperor Temple of the city. The height of the statues is about 1.8 meters, and the 28 constellations are magnificent. Each constellation has a small animal attached to it, with realistic shapes. Wooden Pagoda in Yingzhan County, Shuozhou, Shaanxi Province. The Sakyamuni Pagoda, also known as the Yingzhan Wooden Pagoda, is located in the Fagong Temple in Yingzhan, Shuozhou City, Shaanxi Province. It was first built in the 2nd year of the Qingning reign of the Liao dynasty, 1056, and is the world's tallest, largest, and oldest pure wooden structure tower-style building. It is known as one of the 3 wonders of the world, along with the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy and the Eiffel Tower in Paris. Mingshan Temple, Anyue, Sichuan. Built during the Yuanhe period of the Tang dynasty and flourishing during the Northern Song dynasty, Mingshan Temple was named after the winding Mingshan Mountains, which are covered in layers of lush greenery. The entire temple is built along the mountain, arranged in a staggered manner, nestled among the green mountains and waters like a landscape painting. Arch of wooden architecture with cornices and carved beams and painted rafters in the temple show the exquisite skills of ancient craftsmen. In the game, Killa Buddha wears a crown on his head, with a solemn expression, draped in a robe, and his hands combined with palm prints. In reality, Killa Buddha wears a hollowed-out Buddhist crown on his head, with seals tied inside his hand knots, and the texture of his robe is undoubtedly clearer. Dazu Rock Carvings, Chongqing. Dazu Rock Carvings is the general name of all stone carvings in Dazu District, Chongqing. Up to now, there are 75 stone carvings and more than 50,000 statues published as cultural relics protection units. Statues were first built in the early Tang dynasty, and went through the late Tang and 5 dynasties, reaching their peak in the Song dynasty. They represent the highest level of world cave art from the 9th to the 13th century AD. In 1999, Dazu rock carvings was listed in the World Heritage List by UNESCO, becoming the only World Cultural Heritage in Chongqing. Lingyin Temple, Hangzhou, Zhejiang. Since its establishment, the millennium-old Lingyin Temple has been home to a gathering of eminent monks, literati, and a fusion of Confucianism and Buddhism. Discussions on Zen and Taoism, as well as recitation and chanting, have become a cultural spectacle. In addition, there are many historical relics such as ancient Buddha statues, ritual vessels, sutras, stone pagodas, imperial steels, calligraphy and paintings in the temple, which are precious Buddhist cultural heritage of Lingyin Temple. In the game, a divine beast image of the incense burner base in front of the Jigong Hall of Lingyin Temple in Hangzhou is placed in the distant view. Shisi Temple, Lishui, Zhejiang. In the game, the Orchid Room, where the old spider spirits live, is recognized as the Sakya Mani Hall of Shisi Temple in Jingningshi Autonomous County, Lishui, Zhejiang Province. Shisi Temple was first built in the 10th year of Shaoxing in the Southern Song Dynasty, 1140, and has been well preserved. It has both the architectural style of the Song Dynasty and the influence of local architecture in Fujian. Its unique structure and shape make it an independent type in the Yuanming architectural system in Zhejiang. East-West Pagoda of Kaiyuan Temple, Quanzhou, Fujian. The Kaiyuan Temple in Quanzhou was first built in the 2nd year of the Tang Dynasty's Chuigong era, 686 AD, and is the largest and most prominent Buddhist temple in Quanzhou in terms of official status. The east and west twin towers of Kaiyuan Temple are unparalleled in the world, and their architectural design reflects the creativity of China at that time. The architectural style is known by historians as the sacred and supernatural art of the Song dynasty, and can be regarded as a pioneering achievement in the history of Chinese tower construction. Chongfu Temple, Shuozhou, Shaanxi. Although Chongfu Temple has gone through dynastic changes, it still retains the memory of traditional architecture and the traditional craftsmanship of buildings from various dynasties. It not only continues the historical context of architecture, but also reflects the level of architectural technology and living culture of an era. Yuwang, Weixian County, Hebei Province. The Jade Emperor Pavilion is enshrined and built in the 10th year of the Hongwu reign of the Ming dynasty. The commander of the Weizhou Guard, Shi Zhoufang, rebuilt the Weizhou earthen city into a brick city, with 3 gates to the east, west, and south. There is no gate to the north, and a Jade Emperor Pavilion is built to face the 3 gates. Jade Emperor Temple, Jincheng, Shaanxi. The Jade Emperor Temple is the largest and most influential Taoist temple in ancient Zhezhou. The over 300 clay sculptures of Taoist gods and goddesses in it form a unique system, artistically showcasing the system of Taoist gods and goddesses in China. Especially the clay sculptures of the 28 mansions, which are still rare among the ancient statues and relics discovered nationwide. Fuguang Temple, Wutai, Shaanxi. The bottom of the Tang Dynasty scripture tower in the East Hall of Fuguang Temple is an octagonal earth-lined stone, with a summer pedestal placed on top. Each side is engraved with a pot door, and there are lion-shaped beasts curled up in it, each with a different shape. Above, there are lotus petals covered with lotus treasures, and 6 lions are carved on the waist, with their legs extended forward and their heads and backs supporting 3 layers of plain lotus petals. Xiaoxi Tian, Xixian County, Shaanxi Province. The original name of Xiaoxi Tian was Ganfo Temple, where the statue of Tian Guanxianjia was carved. The gate of the temple was inscribed with the phrase, Tao enters the western heaven, and was different from the Daxishan Buddhist temple in the south of Xixian County. It is called Xiaoxi Tian. Mingshan Temple, Anyue, Sichuan. The statues are works of the Northern Song dynasty, and the vast majority are well preserved. There are currently 63 cliff statues and 34 individual statues in this area. There are also 29 inscriptions on Ming and Qing dynasty steels. Liqing Temple, Nancheng, Sichuan. Shisi Temple, Lishui, Zhejiang. The overall layout of Shisi Temple faces west and east, consisting of a mountain gate, bell tower, main hall, Sanqing Hall, Maxian Palace, Mei Clan Ancestral Hall, etc., covering a total area of 2,700 square meters. The surrounding mountains in front of the temple are towering. Mei Family Ancestral Hall, Lishui, Zhejiang. It is a family ancestral hall built during the Wanli period of the Ming dynasty, which is a place for families to worship their ancestors and sages. Kaiyuan Temple, Quanzhou, Fujian. The east tower is named Zhenghua, and the west tower is named Rinshou. It stands tall on the east-west square, about 200 meters apart. Hanging Temple, Datong, Shangxi. Originally called Xiankong Pavilion, Xian comes from the teachings of Chinese Taoism, while Kong comes from the teachings of Buddhism. Later renamed Hanging Temple because the entire temple is like hanging on a cliff. In Chinese, hanging sounds the same as Xian, hence the name. Zhenhua Temple, Jinzhong, Shangxi. The architecture of Zhenhua Temple, with Wanfo Hall as the earliest, has undergone multiple renovations over the years, but still maintains the style of the Five Dynasties period. It is one of the 3 existing Five Dynasties buildings in Chinese Buddhist temples, and the painted sculptures are the only Five Dynasties works preserved in temple buildings across the country to this day. Yungong Grottos, Datong, Shangxi. The excavation of the Gang Grottos took about 150 years, and went through dynasties such as the Northern Wei, Eastern Wei, Western Wei, Northern Qi, Sui, and Tang. There are currently 45 main caves, 252 small and large niches, and more than 59,000 stone carvings, making it a treasure trove of Chinese grotto art.